Welcome back to the iBFP. Here's your host, Boxing New.
Andre Ward is back at it again, hating on Canelo Alvarez. And look, let's break it down honestly and objectively as possible. And Andre Ward has made a recent interview with the Breakfast Club where he goes in talking out of his ass, hating on Canelo Alvarez yet again. Now, there's two key things he says in this interview. One is that Canelo Alvarez is constantly ducking multiple fighters, but he can't name the fighters in which Canelo's ducking. The second thing he states is that Canelo Alvarez dismisses fighters over a payday. And the third is that Canelo Alvarez did not want to rematch Dimitri Bivol. So let's body bag this dumbass. When you look at Andre Ward, the reason why he couldn't flat out say who Canelo Alvarez is ducking is because Canelo Alvarez is undisputed. How can you be ducking someone, dumbass, when you hold all the world titles? How is that possible? It's not possible to duck someone when you've beaten every single champion, dumbass. The next thing is, Andre Ward says, well, Canelo Alvarez dismisses guys talking about they want a payday. The only person he dismissed off of a payday was Demetrius Andre. And at the time he dismissed Demetrius Andre, Canelo Alvarez was busy trying to go undisputed at 168 pounds. At that time in 2021, Demetrius Andre was still fighting at 160 pounds. So if Canelo's at 168 and Andrade's at 160 and still hadn't fought one world champion, how's he ducking Andrade? This man clearly only wanted a payday. What are we talking about? You gotta be a dumbass to listen to Andre Ward. Everything he says is wrong. Then Andre Ward goes on in the interview on the Breakfast Club and say, well, Canelo really didn't want to rematch Dimitri Bivol. He really didn't want the rematch. But if you listen to Andre Ward on the State of Boxing on ESPN last year, Andre Ward said Canelo Alvarez is trying to drain Dimitri Bivol by bringing him down to 168 pounds. And this was obviously debunked because Canelo was insisting the rematch be at 175, but Bivol refused and said, I will not fight you if it's not at 168. Even though Bivol said, I don't know if I can make 168. Make that make sense. It's clear who does not want the rematch, and it was not Canelo Alvarez. I mean, we got to make it make sense. Everything Andre Ward says is a damn lie. Then go on to Andre Ward talking about Canelo ducking, talking about Canelo Alvarez not fighting the best fighters. But what's so funny is Canelo Alvarez fought a prime undefeated world champion in Caleb Plant. In a Caleb Plant that Andre Ward said that he would be a huge problem for Canelo Alvarez, who Andre Ward picked to beat Canelo Alvarez, who Andre Ward trained to beat Canelo Alvarez, and yet he still got knocked out. So at the end of the day, Andre Ward is clearly in his feelings, hating on Canelo Alvarez. And the last thing Andre Ward stated was that Canelo Alvarez, when he fought Triple G, it was a controversial fight. Those were controversial fights. Those were close fights. But how are you throwing stones and you live in a glass house? Because your fight against Sergey Kovalev was controversial. Literally everybody saw you lose the first fight. You gotta make it make sense. Andre Ward, please, kindly, respectfully, sit your dumb ass down.